The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And that radar behind you lit up lovely this morning, isn't it?
Yes, it's been a while since we've seen all this rainfall moving in. It's pretty notable. In fact, let's take a look at where that rainfall is right now. We begin with a live look at the Yorkville Battery live radar. And as you can see here, we've got some pockets of pretty heavy rain indicated by those pockets of yellow here on the radar scans. There are some locations of mixing taking place in the high peaks of the Adirondacks, maybe some slippery roads up there. But we are still tracking this widespread heavy rain for the next several hours, and we'll go hour by hour here in that forecast momentarily. Downtown Utica, roadways a bit damp. Watch out for ponding on said roadways with temperatures in the low 40s, even in the upper 30s. It's a cold rain in parts of the region. So aside from that, we're tracking, following this widespread rain today, a windy and wet Halloween. This is not looking like we saw last year, which was record-setting high temperatures and dry weather. And then we have our first snowfall forecast of the season. Yes, it's that time of year. We're going to be talking a bit about that snowfall chance, especially north of the Mohawk Valley. But again, we're expecting pretty much a rainy one today. Rainfall letting up a little bit this evening, but either way, we'll have to look at those rainfall totals, the wind speeds, and of course, most importantly, that snowfall forecast coming up. Gary?
Eric, thanks. It was back to class, so to speak, for
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back. Past few mornings, I should say. It's been a little frosty, but today we got a different story. You're going to be tracking widespread rain. We'll have a look at your forecast here in a minute as you head out the door this morning. Let's take a first look at the current conditions on some area roadways again. We got some ponding taking place in some low-lying areas expected over the next couple of hours, so just watch out for that too. On top of that, with the leaves falling too, along with this heavy rainfall, there could be some slick spots where the wet leaves are causing that as well. So those are two traffic concerns this morning. It is mainly rainfall here locally, some mixing taking place way up north, but again, that's the outlier here. The south wind is moving in, dragging in all that rainfall here today. So again, expect widespread rain and pretty strong winds today. Winds between 15, maybe 20 miles an hour, wind gusts even higher. We'll look at those wind gusts here shortly, but again, a quick recap of the next 3 days. It's widespread rain today, lingering rain, even a few snow showers as we head into tomorrow, and that's mainly up to the north, and then clouds and drizzle on Saturday. We're going to track that snowfall too, coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. An average of 15 million people around the world.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Time now is 5:19, going on 5:20, and it's definitely a rainy one out there. Probably can hear on your roof early this morning. Let's take a look outside in downtown Utica. Rainfall rates moderate to heavy in portions of central New York. We can see here too the temperature 43. It's a cold October rainfall here in the Mohawk Valley. Easterly wind of 6 miles an hour. We're going to see this number here rise a whole lot more as we head throughout the day. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Some mixing taking place in the high peaks of the Adirondacks, but you head farther south, we have all this widespread rain we're looking at right now, and we zoom out. This is part of a much larger system of low pressure ushering in rainfall expected to be 1, 2, potentially even 3 inches of rain in portions of the area. In fact, I'll show that map here momentarily. But I want to talk about that rainfall chance. Again, it does decrease a little bit this afternoon. Spotty showers, not nearly as steady. And then we're going to see wraparound rain from lake effect return again on Friday. Not nearly as heavy, but it will still be notable. This will be a bit damp as you head out for any trick-or-treating. So when it comes to rainfall, you can see here sections of the state could be over 3 inches of rainfall by the end of this. Some other spots maybe around 1 to 2 inches. That's where we're standing at for much of our area here locally, 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. And then on top of that rainfall, we're tracking some pretty strong wind gusts. Some locations going as high as 35, 40 mile per hour wind gusts today. And then same thing as we head into tomorrow. Pretty strong winds from the west as this back side of this low begins to move its way east. Our first official snowfall forecast of the season is right here. And notice in some spots, you've got a dusting in the higher elevations north, 1 to 2 inches in the light blue areas, and that is where there's upsloping taking place. In fact, I should say maybe 1 to 3 inches. Either way, there is snowfall potential up north, all driven in again by the back side of this low, sweeping its way east. See all these blues here? That's going to produce that snowfall in areas to the north. So again, our skycast, widespread rainfall today. A bit of a lull in the rainfall this evening with a few spotty showers tonight. Then tomorrow, that wraparound rain moves in, lake effect showers in the evening, and then you're going to see that snowfall work its way in, mixed in with rainfall in areas to the north. So your 7-day forecast, a breezy next few days. October going out pretty much like a lion here. November moves in with some lingering drizzle Saturday, not nearly as rainy as Friday, and then it slowly dries up a little bit as we head into Sunday. For the first full week of November, it's looking to be a little bit more on the dry side temporarily, mixed in with rainfall. Just overall mixed bag of weather as we head into November. So we got
maybe move trick-or-treating to Sunday this year.
Yeah, maybe delay a little bit.
That'd be nice. The time right now is 5:23. Still ahead of once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore. If you're getting the kids ready for the bus stop this morning, bundle them up and try to keep them dry. Meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center. And Eric, that rain is coming down pretty hard.
Yeah, pretty hard in some spots too. The temperature's cooler, so it's a cold rain we're dealing with today. Let's take a look at the radar right here and see where that rainfall is heavier. And as you can see, portions of central New York, with you can see the yellows and oranges right here, that's the heavy rainfall. So that's including Rome, Utica, portions of south central Oneida County. A little lighter as you head out toward the capital region, but again, here locally, it's pretty heavy. A live look at downtown Utica. We've got a rainy morning out there. Watch out for ponding on roadways, and especially if you're in traveling areas that have leaves on the roads too. Those could be slick. Temperature 43 degrees in Rome, 36 heading south into Hamilton. So again, this is a cold rain. Temperatures remaining on the cooler side for much of the day today. So again, along with that widespread rain, we are tracking a windy and wet Halloween. So if you're planning any trick-or-treating tomorrow, well, you might want to grab some extra layers. Then following that, we have our official first snowfall forecast of the season. We'll talk about where that snow is going to fall and how much we could see. So again, today, don't expect a major warm-up. Highs near 50. Widespread rainfall. We'll track that snow as well as what we can expect heading into November coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. President Trump on his way back
2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this rainy Thursday morning. Our photo of the day today takes us to Remsen, a great photo right here. I figured there was no title to it, but I figured I would just title it, "Oh Deer." As you can see, there's a couple of deer here in the meadow. A reminder to watch out for deer as this is the active time of the season. They are entering rut, which means that deer are a lot more active, roaming around. If not only that, but also the feeding patterns change as we're going to see a lot less greenery moving forward. So if you have a great photo of anything like this you'd like to share with us, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. So again, I mentioned it's a rainy one this morning, a live look at our Yorkville Battery live radar. We have pretty significant widespread rain here across central New York. Pretty much the entire radar here showing some form of precipitation. We're going to dive into how long this rainfall lasts, how much we can see, and up north, how much snow you could see coming up shortly. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Halloween is tomorrow.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
A rainy one out there today, a cold rain, I should say, with temperatures only peaking in the low 50s and considerable rainfall accumulations in sections of New York State. Let's take a look outside right now. Downtown Utica, it's a damp morning commute out there. Just grab that umbrella, rain jacket. You're going to need it pretty much for much of the early half of the day today. The rainfall will slowly taper off this evening. I'll show that here in a second. But still, it's 43 degrees. Wind's not that strong right now, but that's going to change. Radar showing moderate to heavy rainfall here locally. We zoom out. This is part of a much larger system. It's slingshotting all that moisture north into our area. This is something we haven't seen in terms of total rainfall in probably since May of earlier this year with how rainy that month was. But either way, widespread rain this morning, this afternoon. It begins to taper off a little bit. Spotty showers, hit or miss. And then we're going to see rainfall return again Friday from backside lake effect and maybe even some snow showers in areas to the north. In terms of rainfall accumulations, 1 to 2 inches are generally expected here across central New York. Some pockets of 3 inches or more potentially, especially as you head farther to the west. Now, those totals isolated but still possible. And this is again lingering into Saturday in terms of total rainfall here. Secondly, I want to mention windfall or wind potential here. Wind speeds between 15, 20 miles per hour. Wind gusts as high as 35 to 40 today. Same thing tomorrow, except the winds will be more westerly compared to southerly today. And then following that, the backside of the system producing some snowfall potential, especially up north. A dusting possible in areas of the Adirondacks here in the gray, 1 to 3 inches. There should be a 3 here in the light blue areas, and that's due to upsloping from the west. So our first snowfall forecast of the year, and as typical, it's for locations up to the north. So that system moved its way from the south to the north. The backside of that low, as I mentioned, is going to produce that snowfall mixing in with the rainfall sections of the Adirondacks. And then we look here in the Skycast, zooming in, widespread rain today. This afternoon and heading to the evening, that rain begins to taper off a little bit, a few spotty showers. And then we're going to see that wind direction shift. Drizzle and rainfall picking up as we approach the evening hours for Halloween, and even some snow mixing in areas to the north. Your 7-day forecast, we've got pretty unsettled stretch the next couple of days. And then we return to more clouds heading into Saturday and Sunday, highs in the 40s. We'll be right back.
Temperature and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And get ready. Bundle up this morning. It's chilly and it's rainy.
Yeah, grab that umbrella, rain jacket. It's a bit of a dreary one out there today, to put it lightly.
It's scary.
We take a look outside in the current conditions here on the Yorkville Battery live radar. And who's seeing the heaviest rain right now? Well, that is actually crowned to locations just north and west of Utica. See those yellows and oranges there? That's heavier rainfall rates. And that's a single band that's extending from Boonville all the way out through Syracuse and down to Geneva, following the thruway corridor out west of Syracuse. And in fact, that rainfall is even more widespread as we look to the south, too. So we'll see a lot more of this seen throughout the day. So heading outside this morning, you see the roads a little bit wet. And expect potential ponding, too, in some low-lying flood-prone areas for this morning's commute. Just a heads up for that, too. The temperatures this morning in the 40s and 30s, so this is not a warm rain by any means. It's a cooler rain. And interesting enough, as I was driving into work today, because of how cold the rain was, My windshield wipers didn't actually have to do a lot of work. The rainfall was bouncing off the windshield. It's an interesting phenomenon that takes place, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. Still, we got widespread rain today. It's a windy and wet one for Halloween tomorrow. So wish I had brighter news for your trick-or-treat forecast, but it might be more on the damp side. We'll talk about that more coming up in a couple of minutes, as well as the fact that we could be seeing our first snowfall forecast for the season. Now, spoiler alert, it's areas to the north. This does not include the Mohawk Valley, but if you look up north, you might want to see this forecast here coming up shortly. Still, temperatures in the 40s, climbing into the 50s today with that widespread rain. We'll have, again, the details on that snow, the rainfall, the totals, all that, and the wind straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. It was back to class, so to speak.
Welcome back. It's a rainy one out there on this Thursday morning. We'll take a look at what you can expect, though, as you head out in your quick minute in a forecast, or forecast in a minute. Backwards words right there. We take a look right now at some current conditions in central New York. We have rain showers rolling through. In fact, watch out for some ponding on roadways in those low-lying areas. You can see pretty much here it's widespread across the board. Yorkville Battery live radar showing that rainfall heavier to our north right now. Areas in Boonville, southern Lewis County, some sections of Otsego County too, a dry slot moving in temporarily down to the south, but there's more rainfall on the way. This is the rainiest part of the day so far. Expect rain showers to continue this afternoon with temperatures climbing into the low 50s. Well, we will see some conditions dry up a little bit as we approach the evening, but still, again, we're looking at a rainy Halloween, 40s with rain showers tomorrow, and even that lingering drizzle as we head into Saturday with highs in the mid-40s. Gary?
Eric, thanks. An average of 15...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody, on this Thursday. It's a rainy one out there, a bit of a difference compared to the frosty mornings we were accustomed to the past few days. Downtown Utica, take a live view outside. It's a rainy one out there. Ponding on roadways is possible. Just a heads up for that as you make your way to your morning commute. Yorkville Battery live radar showing widespread rain here across central New York. We zoom out. Yes, there's a brief dry slot right here in the Catskills, but there is more rainfall behind it. So this will not be a continuation of what we can expect this morning. Still, we are tracking widespread rainfall, pretty much steady all morning long. As we head into the afternoon, the rainfall begins to taper off a little bit before we begin to see some on and off showers into the overnight, and then to early Friday. That's when we start to see that rainfall really start to pick up again, especially by Friday afternoon. The backside of this low pressure drags in some cooler Canadian air, and that could fire up some rain showers here across the Mohawk Valley. In terms of rainfall totals, much of central New York will be in the 1 to 2 inch range for now. Some pockets 2.5 inches. You see the red zone 3 inches or more, so that's an isolated area, especially just to our west, but we'll keep a close eye on where that highest zone is expected. For now, though, a beneficial 1 to 2.5 inches of rainfall here across the Mohawk Valley. And on top of that rainfall, we have our first official snowfall forecast of the year. This includes the Adirondacks, a dusting of snow possible Friday evening to Saturday evening, and in that gray zone there, and then 1 to 3 inches in the light blue. For some reason, my edits aren't saving here, so I'm not. The technology is not a fan of me today. But either way, 1 to 3 inches in the light blue areas, and then that's due to upsloping as that northwesterly wind moves through. And on top of the snow and potential rainfall, we have some strong winds expected today, and then a stronger westerly wind expected tomorrow. Wind gusts as high as 35 to 40 miles an hour. Just a heads up for that. Our Skycast showing that widespread rain today. As we head into tonight, we're going to see the lull in the rainfall activity, maybe a few spotty showers. And then Halloween morning starts out cloudy and damp. Rainfall starts to pick up throughout the afternoon. You can see that snowfall starting to work its way in from the north too. And that'll be a pretty rainy lake effect event heading into Friday night into Saturday. Again, some snow showers mixing in up north. November starts out on Saturday with temperatures in the upper 30s, climbing into the 40s with lingering drizzle and cloud cover. Not nearly as rainy as today and tomorrow, but still a little bit on the damp side. Progressively drying out as we head into Monday and Sunday for next week. So for the time being, Gary, it's a rainy one today. It's likely going to be a bit of a damp one for Halloween. So trick-or-treaters, maybe keep that umbrella handy just in time for that.
At least it won't be too cold for them.
Yes, true.
Yeah. Eric, thanks. Wellness Wednesdays will kick off next week again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore, meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center. And Eric, boy, is this a rainy start to the day.
Yeah, it's been quite a while since we've seen rainfall like this here in central New York. Let's take a look at the radar right now and see how that rain is shaping up. So, yes, it's a rainy one out there this morning. A look at the current conditions here. We have that rain band moving through central New York right now. There is a dry slot in the northern section of the Adirondacks heading towards Schoharie County, Delaware County, and the southeastern portion of Otsego County. But it's temporary. Look below it, you got more rain arriving. So this is going to be a rainy morning regardless here across the region. Downtown Utica, a live view. It's a, again, rainy one out there, so you might encounter some ponding on roadways. A heads up for that. And on top of that, too, there could be some wet leaves on roadways that could produce some slick conditions. So two things to look out for this morning, but that's really about it. There's no snowfall here locally for the time being, but look at that here in a second. 40s and 30s here across the state right now. We are tracking again a rainy one today. Tomorrow for Halloween, it's still trending to be damp, rainy, and breezy too. So that's looking to be the case for our final day of October. And on top of that, we do have our first snowfall forecast of the year. We'll let you know exactly where that snow falls and how much could be seen. So again, today, we're in the 40s, eventually in the 50s with widespread rainfall. We'll track how long this rain lasts, when it ends, how much rain we could see, the strong winds. Pretty busy stretch of weather the next few days. We'll have the details straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. President.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
A rainy Thursday morning out there today. Happy Thursday, everybody. Now, despite the rainfall, we are sharing a pretty dry photo here sent in to us anonymously from Remsen. Look at this photo right here. It was untitled too, but since this photo was so cool, I figured I'd give it a name, Oh Dear. I don't know, just thought that would be a really cool idea. Either way, jokes aside, great photo right here of 3 deer in a meadow in Remsen, and a reminder this time of year to watch out for deer as they are a little more active. That rut is right on our doorstep. In fact, in some spots already started. And on top of that, we have a bit of a changing feeding pattern as the leaves start falling, things stop growing. Again, a lot more changes taking place in fall. If you have a photo like that you'd like to share with us, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. So this morning we're tracking widespread rain. We'll have a look at how long this rainfall lasts, how much we can see, and who could see some snowfall on the backside of the system coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Halloween is tomorrow, and if you...
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
It's a rainy one out there this morning, and on top of that, bundle up. It's a cold rain. Temperatures in the 40s and 30s. We take a live look in downtown Utica. Traffic picking up this morning, and again, a reminder, watch out for some ponding on roadways. The rainfall has fallen a bit heavy at times here in sections of central New York. We take a look at the Yorkville Battery live radar. Rainfall has picked up in the Thruway corridor in the Mohawk Valley here in Herkimer County. Some higher rainfall rates up north and down south. Either way, we are tracking pretty much a rainy one this morning. Even though there's a few dry slots here and there, more rain is filling in behind it. So at least for the foreseeable next few hours, expect steady rainfall until probably the mid-afternoon. That's when we're going to see a bit of a dry slot work its way in, and this might linger into the evening and overnight. Now, it's not entirely dry. There will be a few passing showers possible, but as we head into heading into Friday, that's when we're going to start to see that rainfall return. Backside of this low pressure produces some lake effect rainfall and potentially even some snowfall too. So, in terms of rainfall accumulation, much of central New York will be picking up 1 to 2.5 inches of rain. Some pockets here in that red, you can see upwards of 3 inches or more. Again, that's an isolated pocket, and we'll slowly monitor how this system develops, because this zone of 3 inches or more could shift east or west as this path of the system continues to move its way to the north. Now, following that rainfall, yes, we have our first official snowfall forecast of the year. And as you can see here, this is primarily impacting the Adirondacks area, mainly the North Country, dusting of snow in the area in gray due to upsloping in the Tug Hill Plateau and sections north of Old Forge. There could be 1 to 3 inches of accumulation. And this is between Friday evening and Saturday evening. So this is not mainly during the daytime. And this is, again, not happening today either way. Winds will be pretty strong today and tomorrow. Today from the southeast and south, and tomorrow from the northwest. Winds will dip down a little bit tomorrow afternoon, or excuse me, into the weekend, but still a bit breezy for the next several days. Widespread rain continues this morning. We'll see again that dry slot work its way in toward the evening, a few passing brief showers. And then we're going to see that wind direction shift. We've got that westerly wind kicking in, rain showers starting to form here from lake effect. It's going to be a rainy Halloween. And then some snow showers developing up north with temperatures falling near or below freezing. And right there, could be seeing maybe a dusting of snow, again, in areas up north, potentially some higher totals in those higher elevations. 7-day forecast as we enter November. Saturday, 45 the temperature, lingering drizzle and clouds, but not nearly as rainy as the next couple of days. Sunday, turning the clocks back an hour. It's going to be a cloudy one too, but a little bit more on the dry side. But again, back to the forecast tomorrow. Make sure the kids are dressed up warmly, and make sure they're dry too with that rainfall we're going to see.
Yeah, maybe Halloween-themed umbrellas would be nice, huh?
That'd be really cool, Gary.
Yeah, let's sell them. Well, a recall to tell you about this morning regarding Barbie. Joining us now, and Eric, the rain has at least calmed down since this morning. It was quite loud.
Yeah, it's calmed down a little bit. We do have more rain on the way, though, so we've got a bit of a lull temporarily. Let's take a look at the Yorkville Battery live radar. So yes, Gary, we have a dry slot in here right now. So here in the Utica Rome area, not a whole lot of rain currently taking place. We notice to our south, we have a lot of yellows here. We have more rainfall on its way. We were tracking this all morning long, and still there's even more of following that. There's got basically a highway of moisture coming in from the southeast, allowing us to see this onslaught of rainfall. Now, this is some good rainfall, by the way. This is something we need. We're still well below average rainfall-wise. It's currently heavy rainfall in Sherburne, Norwich, Morris, heading toward Edmiston in the southern valleys right now. So again, yes, it's cloudy here in the Mohawk Valley, heavier rainfall down to the south, temperatures in the upper 40s, and this is a scene for much of the day today. Expect this to continue with, again, more rain showers developing throughout the evening. We are tracking a windy and wet one for Halloween tomorrow, and we have our first official snowfall forecast of the season for some of you, especially north of the valley. We'll track that, of course, coming up in a couple of minutes. But again, today we warm up a little bit with highs in the low 50s, scattered showers this evening after this widespread rain ends. We're going to talk a bit more about that rainfall forecast for Halloween and what follows as we enter November coming up. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Turning now to Hurricane Melissa. The powerful storm is still churning through the Caribbean this noon after devastating Jamaica, Cuba, and Haiti, where it caused widespread damage and at least 30 deaths. NBC's George Solis is in Jamaica with the latest.
The devastating aftermath of Hurricane Melissa is coming into sharper focus this morning across the Caribbean. From roofs completely ripped off homes to entire towns flooded, aerial tours revealing the level of devastation.
We have no lights, we have no water. We have limited amount of food items. It's like we're cut off from the rest of the world right now.
These before and after satellite images showing the swath of destruction across parts of the country. Our team set out from Kingston to try and reach the town where the hurricane made landfall.
Part of the roadway here covered in mud, bringing traffic to a standstill in some parts. Residents taking it upon themselves to help with the cleanup.
Water inside. We up here, so you have to swim. Yeah.
You had to swim.
Yeah.
Americans David and Carissa told us their belated honeymoon in Montego Bay took a terrifying turn as the hurricane closed in.
It sounded like the roof was going to get ripped off. Like, it was terrifying. I think our number one priority is, just how do we get home? Right now, it's just all up in the air.
They're among the many tourists stranded in Jamaica. Montego Bay's airport sustaining damage. Water seen pouring through the roof of the terminal. The storm also pounding other parts of the Caribbean. In Haiti, the government reporting more than 20 deaths. And in Cuba, where the hurricane made its second landfall, residents now digging out after flash flooding leveled homes.
Again, NBC's George Solis reporting from Jamaica. Continuing coverage now.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. It's a rainy one out there so far today. It's a cold October rain, maybe a couple of days away from saying cold November rain, but here we are. It's a rainy one, temperatures in the 40s, and we're going to see more rain arriving as we progress throughout the next couple of hours. Look at this band of rainfall right here as it surges its way north. You see this zone right here? This is the dry slot I was mentioning over the past couple of days. That's going to work in closer to your evening commute. So a lot of this sustained rain is going to end in a few hours, and we'll see a few pockets of passing showers here and there. See this chance of rain outlook here? Notice how it's not completely steady. Well, we will see some more rainfall, steadier rain return again as we head into tomorrow afternoon, or I should say tomorrow evening, as lake effect rain begins to set up. In total, this system is producing a lot of rain. Now, we can say it's pretty beneficial. Some spots, though, could pick up as high as 3 inches or more of rain in the red zones right there. Here locally, I'm thinking still most of us are going to see maybe 1 to 2.5 inches tops. But either way, it's definitely a beneficial rain, and it comes, of course, right when the end of the season is upon us. But on top of the rainfall we're seeing, this is our snowfall forecast, our first one for the season. And it goes from tomorrow evening to Saturday evening. And it's not a lot. It's a dusting in areas in the Adirondacks, 1 to 3 inches in the Tug Hill Plateau and locations north of Old Forge due to upsloping. That's pretty much it in terms of snow at this point. There's rainfall mixing in. The soil is damp. It's warm. There's not a lot of favorable conditions for notable snow showers at this point, but stay tuned for any updates. This is still technically lake effect that arrives tomorrow night. It's a windy one out there today. We have a strong southeasterly to easterly wind right now. We're going to see a strong westerly wind tomorrow. Basically, everything's going to go backwards. And then some lingering winds as we approach Saturday and Sunday. So again, there's that low pressure system, there's that dry slot, and then there's that backside low moving through. And you got the snow moving into the Adirondacks as we head into the overnight hours tomorrow night. Zooming in here, drying up this evening, a few spotty showers, and then we're going to see that wind direction shift very quickly early tomorrow to a westerly breeze. And clouds and damp conditions turn to steadier rainfall as we head into the evening, especially just downwind of Lake Ontario. This is not direct lake effect, but it's lake enhanced. Basically, the moisture over the Great Lakes definitely does not help. In fact, it does add to that lingering moisture with some snow showers up north. Eventually, a few lingering flurries up north Saturday morning and some lingering sprinkles in areas to the south. So November starts out in the 40s with clouds, damp conditions, drying up a little bit as we head towards Sunday. There are some more opportunities for sunshine next week, still in a damper pattern, and we're in the 50s and 40s. So we enter November looking right around average, but still, even for the end of the month, make sure you have an umbrella handy for the Halloween costume.
Yeah, those trick-or-treaters got to be tough this year.
Yes.
Not like last year.
Last year's was
Near 80, I think.
Yeah, record
Eric,
setting.
Eric, thanks. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now. And Eric, it is raining right now, but even more is on the way, right?
Yeah, that's right. In fact, Gary, right on our doorstep, look at this. It's right south of Utica. Probably the next couple of minutes, we're going to see that rainfall rate increase tremendously. Let's take a look at that radar again. Let's zoom out a little bit. We can see this is a surge of moisture coming in from the south. And this is going to produce a pretty rainy afternoon between now and, say, maybe 3 to 5 p.m. when that rain will begin to taper off a little bit. But again, we zoom in here. We got that rainfall heavy at times, currently falling in the hilltops south of the Mohawk Valley, and they will again push their way north. It's moving very quickly, by the way. We have some pretty fast winds we're dealing with this system. So yes, it's cloudy here in the valley temporarily, but that rainfall is slowly approaching. You can see pretty much everywhere else in the state reporting rain showers at this hour. In fact, you can see the rain on the doorstep here of our vantage point facing the south sky here in our tower cam. And although the rainfall will taper off a little bit tonight, we are tracking more rain tomorrow for Halloween and maybe even some snow working in higher elevations north. We'll have the details on that rain and snow forecast coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. New York City police say a 3-man crew pulled off a multi-million-dollar jewelry heist. Police released surveillance video of the theft that happened earlier this month. Posing as construction workers, 2 men walked up to a home in Queens on the afternoon of October 16th. Inside the home, they grabbed jewelry and a safe. The items stolen are estimated to be worth $3.2 million. The 2 men then climbed into a car driven by a 3rd man who drives away. Police say no one was home during the robbery. Obesity rates.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. That wall of rain I was mentioning a few moments ago now slowly approaching the Utica area. In fact, it's already arrived in the vantage point of our camera on the Nexus Center. Rainfall collecting on our camera lens right there. Either way, you can see that rain moving in. It's heavy currently in the Mohawk Valley right now. Now behind it, see all that green and yellow? That's more rain moving its way in as we head in the next few hours. But notice right behind here, here's that dry slot I was mentioning this morning. It's going to work its way in toward the evening commute. So you can see here, rainfall chances pretty high right now, closer to 5, 6 p.m. It's going to lighten up a little bit. A passing shower here and there overnight, but not as steady as what's going on right now. And then following that, we'll see more steady rainfall take place from lake effect as we head into Halloween afternoon and into the evening hours. When it comes to rainfall totals, this is a system that's likely to produce 1 to 2.5 inches of rain. Pretty widespread. Some pockets of 3 inches or more, as you can see here, are possible. But for the most part, it is a notable and beneficial rain system, kind of putting us somewhat closer to on track for our seasonal or even yearly rainfall average. On top of rainfall, we are tracking our first official snowfall this season. Now, it is focused only in the North Country. You can see the light gray here impacting the Adirondacks. Dusting of snow possible. The only pockets where you could see higher totals are the Tug Hill Plateau, 1 to 3 inches potentially, and some locations due to upsloping north of Old Forge, just to the east of Watertown outside of Fort Drum. So again, the higher elevations on the western side of the Adirondacks, the other chance of seeing any snowfall accumulating more than an inch or so. So again, it's a windy one out there today. We have a strong southeast to easterly wind. It's going to do a complete 180 tomorrow. A strong westerly wind as the backside of this low moves its way east. As you can see here, there's that south and east wind right now, and then before you know it tomorrow, that westerly wind's really going to push its way through the area. And then on top of that, we have that wraparound rain and even some snow up north. So, piecing all together here in our Skycast, there's that dry slot moving in this evening. Still a few passing showers. Tonight will dry up a little bit. Then by tomorrow morning, clouds, light drizzle, Then the rainfall begins to pick up as we head into the afternoon, and we get lake-enhanced rain showers. On top of that, some snow mixing in up north. Now, due to how warm the surface is, or the soil is, and how wet it's going to be, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of accumulation, at least in the initial part of it, which is why that 1 to 3 inch map is mainly focused in those isolated areas where there could be some higher snowfall rates in general. But less on the snowfall, more on the fact that tomorrow, if you are trick-or-treating, I do recommend maybe dressing a little bit on the warm side. Make sure the kids don't get too cold. On top of that, make sure they stay dry too, because when you get wet from rainfall, the wind that's from that is going to make things feel a lot cooler.
How about that, the guy with the yellow jacket for the fish commercials?
Yes.
Why not be one?
Yes, dress just like him.
Eric, thanks. Well, if you weren't with us at the
Tracking some rain, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Rain and wind. We're going to see more of this as we head into Halloween, just in time for the trick-or-treaters. The heaviest rain has now moved to the east, and we'll see breaks here into this evening. We're into what's called the dry slot of this weather system, so a little bit of a break here for the short term. Rainfall total is close to an inch so far. We'll be picking up more rainfall tomorrow with similar numbers to today. We sure could use it. Current temperature 52 degrees. That east-southeast wind, it's actually the warmest part of the day so far, and temperatures will hold steady tonight. We get a temporary break from the wind tonight too, as the winds will be backing down for a little bit, but then the winds kick up again for Halloween. We're tracking more rain along with a few snow showers as we head into tomorrow night north of the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures close to 50 this evening, rain and wind. Tracking the forecast for the trick-or-treaters tomorrow. Look at that, it's coming up. Kristen, back to you.
The federal government shut down now in day 30, and we are 2 days away from people not.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. Cloudy skies, windy conditions, and we saw heavier rain earlier today. Peak wind gusts, 35 miles an hour in the Mohawk Valley. Herkimer, a gust of 35, Westmoreland 36. The winds weren't quite as strong outside of the valley because the east wind tends to be a little bit faster due to something called funneling, where the winds blow faster in the Mohawk Valley compared to elsewhere. The winds are going to die off temporarily this evening, just a little bit. We'll get a small break overnight, but then the winds are back tomorrow. This time they come from the west as low pressure moves to the north, and they're just as strong as today, 30 to 35 miles an hour. We could see gusts as high as 40 in spots, but again, it's a different wind direction, so it affects more of our area. The winds settle back as we head into Saturday. Still a breezy day and chilly. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We're in a little bit of a lull with the weather. We have some scattered showers just to our west. Reminder, you can always get weather information on the go by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. You can see radar images and get hour-by-hour forecasts and more. Halloween forecast, showers, breezy, very similar to today. Temperatures in the 40s, that west wind 10 to 20 miles an hour. Skywatchers checking in. Whitesboro 50 degrees, Barneveld 47, Micah, New Hartford 50. Curtis 47, Ilion 50, Jeff and Mohawk 48, Westford 48 degrees, and Worcester 49. Low pressure is swinging through, and this is going to be a slow mover. We're in this what's called a dry slot now, so there's a small break in the rain, but you can see it's starting to backfill. So more showers will be arriving tonight, and then more of a steadier rain for Halloween. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight. Temperatures hold steady. We'll be close to 50 degrees overnight. We'll start out tomorrow morning with clouds and a few showers. That west wind kicks in, and we're tracking widespread rain and even some higher elevation snow as we head into tomorrow night. Temperatures will be below freezing in the higher terrain, so there could be some snow sticking to areas like Old Forge, but that's going to be few and far between. Cloudy skies on Saturday. Temperatures will be in the 40s. A small amount of accumulating snow is possible tomorrow night, and this is primarily north, even north of Rome. Traced to an inch for areas like Boonville, but Old Forge and the Tug Hill could see an inch or two of accumulation. Showers tonight, low of 46. Tomorrow, windy showers, high near 50. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Cloudy skies over the weekend. Don't forget the clocks change. We fall back an hour Saturday night. Sunshine returns Monday. Temperatures near 50, and then some unsettled weather to get through on Tuesday and Thursday.
I'm eating a delicious cookie. Did your wife make these?
She did,
Sarah?
yes.
Sarah, you rock.
Thank you.
Still to come on News Channel